Once, there was a woman named Clara. She had grown up in a small town, the eldest of 4 siblings, where life was simple but the expectations of others were heavy. Clara had always been bright, an avid reader with a passion for art, and a dream to one day become a painter. However, dreams were often seen as luxuries in her family. The reality was that her parents worked hard every day to make ends meet, and as the oldest, Clara felt a sense of duty to help. From a young age, Clara learned to balance schoolwork, household chores, and caring for her younger siblings. While other girls her age went to dance lessons or played with friends, Clara spent her time drawing in the margins of her notebooks, using whatever scrap of paper she could find. She would often tell herself, "One day, I'll make my dreams real. One day, I'll leave this place and paint the world." But as she grew older, life's demands became heavier. She never went to art school, as her family could not afford it. Instead, she took a job at a local diner, waking up early and staying late. Her passion for painting was put on hold, tucked away in the back of her heart. Clara's life was ordinary, but filled with quiet, unnoticed sacrifices. Years passed, and she fell into the rhythm of routine. Yet every night, as she lay in bed, she would remember the young girl who dreamt of painting on grand canvases, surrounded by the beauty of the world. Sometimes, when she was alone, she would pick up a paintbrush, her hand shaking as she tried to capture the colors of her dreams. But her life kept pulling her away: bills, responsibilities, the constant need to take care of everyone. It wasn't until her youngest sibling, Sophie, graduated from high school that Clara felt a shift. Sophie had inherited Clara's spark, her talent for art, and was eager to leave the small town for art school. Clara was thrilled for her sister but also terrified. Sophie's dreams were a reminder of all that Clara had left behind, and the guilt weighed heavily on her. She could not help but wonder, what if I had followed my dreams? What if I hadn't buried them? One day, as Clara cleaned the attic, she stumbled upon a box of old sketches she had done as a teenager. Looking through them, she could feel the weight of lost time. She remembered the fire in her chest, the way she saw the world in vivid colors. But as she flipped through the pages, she also saw how far she had come, not in the way she had imagined, but in a way that had made her family's lives better. She had always put others first, and that, too, was a form of love. That night, Clara sat at her kitchen table, the sketches spread before her, and she finally allowed herself to cry. The tears weren't just for the dreams she had never chased, but for the woman she had become, the woman who had given up parts of herself to give everything to others. In her heart, she knew that her sacrifices had shaped who she was. A few days later, after Sophie left for art school, Clara stood in front of a blank canvas. It had been years since she'd held a paintbrush with intention, but now, the weight of time seemed lighter. She started to paint, not with the expectation of becoming famous or successful, but for herself. The colors on the canvas felt like a long-lost language, and in that moment, she understood that it was never too late to dream again, to rediscover parts of herself that she had thought were long gone. Her first painting wasn't perfect, but it was hers. It was the start of a new chapter, one where she didn't have to choose between her responsibilities and her passions. She could be both the woman who loved and cared for her family and the woman who painted her heart out. Years later, Clara would find herself teaching painting to other women in the town, encouraging them to pursue their dreams, no matter how late it seemed. She would tell them, it's never too late. If I can find a way to hold on to my dreams, so can you. Always chase your dreams, one day it will become true. The story of Clara is one of quiet strength, resilience, and the profound love that can sometimes go unnoticed. She learned that while dreams may fade and life may pull us in directions we never planned, the heart's desire can always be rekindled, even after the longest of waits. She realized that the true weight of dreams isn't in how big they are, but in how much we are willing to hold on to them, no matter the cost. This story is about Clara's emotional journey of rediscovering her long-buried dreams and the internal conflict she faced between her familial duties and personal desires. It highlights themes of sacrifice, self-worth, and the courage it takes to chase dreams later in life.